Here you are doing the linear measurement notes. Good for you. Way to choose this one. All right. So linear measurement. First of all, I want you to look at the word linear. What word do you see inside the word linear? Well, I see lots of words, but there's only one that I'm looking for. I'm not looking for ear. Nope, not that one. I'm not looking for in. Not really that one either. I'm not looking for near. Apparently, there's a lot of words in this word. I'm actually looking for the word line. Linear measurement is the measuring of straight lines in length, in height, in width. Okay? So keep that in mind as we go through these notes. So, common SI units. So we do length. Length is the distance between 2 points. Now, you guys are going to want a four-finger swipe back and forth between the notes in Notability. And most of the things that are underlined here are what you're going to underline or what you're going to fill in your notes on the worksheet. There are also some other things on the worksheet that there are some blanks that you're going to fill in after we're done with the notes, kind of like for practice. So, all right. There are several linear measurements that we are going to discuss. First, the main standard unit of measurement in the metric system for length is the meter. And that abbreviation is a lowercase m. Make sure it's lowercase because capital M means something totally different. We also measure it in centimeters. Now, when you guys measure in our classroom for smaller objects that we're going to do in class, most of the time you're going to use centimeters, which are cm, or you're going to use the next one on the next page. You're going to use millimeters, mm. I love millimeters. They're like chocolate with a candy shell. No, they're not M and M's. They're just mm. And they're lowercase again. Make sure they're lowercase. Now we measure length with either a metric ruler, which is most rulers have on one side they have the standard, the English system, which is inches. The other side it's either millimeters or centimeters. It'll have a little mm or a little cm, but they're almost always, you see the numbers which are centimeters long. Or you can always measure in a meter with a meter stick, or even a measuring tape, as long as it's metric. But a meter stick is for larger objects, like if you're going to do your whole desk, obviously you don't want to use your little ruler because you'll mess it up, and there's a whole bunch of rulers that would go across there. Instead, use a meter stick. It's a lot longer if you're going to do a door or something like that. So, all right. Linear measurement. We like to use this for things like distance instead of using yards or miles. And we also like to use it for length instead of feet or inches. A centimeter, just for your base knowledge, is about the same as the width of your fingernail. It doesn't matter which fingernail, just not the thumbnail, but the width, so across your nail, it's about a centimeter. So you can kind of get a guess on how big a centimeter is. And finally, in the metric system, we don't use fractions, which is awesome because I don't know many people that like to use fractions or multiply fractions or add and subtract fractions. It's annoying. Instead, we use decimals. And decimals are way easier to figure out, especially if you're going to multiply them, if you're going to add them up. You know, this was 1.2 centimeters. This one was 3.6. You add those up, you get a total, and it's a lot easier. So let's start practicing some measuring. So if you guys look at the rest of your worksheet, there are some questions there saying if I was going to measure a mountain, what would I use? If I was going to measure a pencil, what would I use? And it's looking for what unit. So you've got four types of units for measuring length. We use, going from smallest to biggest, we have millimeters, centimeters, meters, and then there's one more. The big long one is a kilometer or a kilometer. It's a K and an M. So there you go. Try to do that section. And then the bottom section, it wants you to measure that line using a ruler. Since you guys are doing it on an iPad, it's probably going to be smart to come and ask Mr. King for those old iStep rulers because they're smaller and you can probably fit it better. So good luck, and come and talk to Mr. King if you need any help.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.